Hello and welcome to the heliosblog. My name is Helios. Today we're going to talk about sexual dimorphism. We're going to talk about a concept in biology. This concept is called sexual dimorphism. Since some people in our world seem to think that men and women are the same, it's time to point out the clear and obvious biological differences. These differences are undeniable. Off we go. Enjoying my content? Check out my blog at heliosblog.com. On YouTube, you can support me by liking and subscribing. I'm also on Spotify if you'd prefer a podcast. If you're interested in my books, The Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By, they're available on Amazon. In addition, you can follow me on Patreon at theheliosblog for exclusive content. On with the show. What is sexual dimorphism? Sexual dimorphism means what it sounds like. It means both genders have a different morphology, which means form. Men and women look different. This applies not only to things like breast size and height, but also to muscularity and brain interconnection as well. Let's discuss a few of these, shall we? Muscle and height differences between men and women. The first and extremely obvious difference biologically between men and women is their height. Men on average are much taller than women. Also, starting at puberty, men tend to have more muscle than women. Men have 10 times the amount of testosterone as women and thus have more muscle development and growth. It's no coincidence that women are most attracted to tall men with big muscles. These are biological indicators of masculinity. Women want a manly man, and a man who's tall and has big muscles is considered quite manly. Men also have different connection points for their muscles, which are optimized for throwing. This means that men are naturally better at throwing things and using close-range weapons. Sexual reproduction differences in men and women. Obviously, men and women are biologically different in terms of sexual reproduction. Men produce sperm, women produce eggs. Men can reproduce with many women over a very short period of time. A woman needs 9 months of gestation in order to have a child. Women experience a point in the month where they have to discard their unfertilized eggs to prepare for the next possibility of reproduction. During this period, many women experience discomfort. Men obviously do not have this. Differences in brain wiring between men and women. Men and women's brains are wired differently as well. Men's brains are wired more from front to back, and women's brains are wired more across. This makes men more rational and women more holistic in their thinking. It also means that women are better at multitasking, whereas men are better at doing one task at a time. Differences between the way men and women think. Men think in terms of deduction, A to B to C. Women's reasoning is much more diverse and interconnected. Women also are much more likely to reason with their emotions. If they feel it is right, it must be. This is due to the greater interconnectedness of their brain, which links the more emotional parts of their brain to the more logical. Differences in style of communication. Due to the differences in brain wiring, men and women communicate differently. Men communicate overtly. They usually say what they mean and mean what they say. Women communicate covertly, and often the medium is the message. The way women communicate is often more telling of what they're trying to say than what they're actually saying. Women obviously have much more complex communication than men, and women often fight with each other through their communication, as opposed to men, who force each other directly with their muscles. What men are attracted to physically? Men are attracted to women with womanly attributes. They're attracted to women of a reasonable, non-obese weight, who have a feminine shape to their bodies, a 0.8 waist to hip ratio. Men are much more accepting of women's physical looks since men want to be polygamous. Men are very likely to overlook some imperfections in the physical appearance of their partner since they want to get laid with multiple partners anyway. What are women attracted to physically? What women are attracted to is very specific. Look at any male model, superhero, or Greek statue and you'll see what the ideal male form is for women. Women want tall, athletic men. This standard has not changed in over 5,000 years. Women lie when they say they're attracted to anything different, in order to honeypot a beta usually. Implications of sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism implies that it's impossible for men and women to be the same. Men and women are not the same, neither in appearance nor in behavior. That a university professor or teacher teaches that men and women are the same does not make it so. Conclusion. It is clear that men and women are different on a biological level. This makes it impossible for men and women to be the same, as Clownwald seems to want to state. Denying reality is not the path to anyone's happiness. Understand the truth and be free.